Let's see if this will work. Okay. Should be streaming. Uh-oh. Something. All right, let me check. Let's close this. I don't want to have anything open that could cause some sort of a slowdown. Let me switch this. And then we'll get started. Oh, what'd I do? Okay, that's switching there. My mic seems to be picking up, although Audition looks to be laggish a bit. But we'll look into that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream and record at the same time. If not, then I'm just going to end stream and just record. And yeah, maybe I'll come back on and do the editing part on stream. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know why this is acting so slow. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I can't believe it's only 10:30. I feel like this should be the afternoon. Come on, come on, come on. I cannot believe how slow my computer is moving right now. It really should not be because everything... Okay, here we go. Here we go. Nice and easy. I'm gonna leave that. I'll leave that. Yeah, I guess I'll leave all of this here. I know there's an encoding overload. I don't know why. I'm not dropping any frames though. So I am typing and I am seeing nothing that I'm typing. Why? Okay, here we go. Jesus Christ. Why are you taking? Okay, here we go. This is both yesterday, but I will. Okay, let's try to close. I have to close some of these windows. I can't have them all open, so that's gonna be step one. Otherwise, this will not work. So let's quit that. I'm only keeping open windows. Oh wait, I actually need. Well, no, I can read my script off my iPad, so I don't need to have Chrome open either. So let's do that. Let's use the tools that I have at my disposal, starting with my iPad. So I'm going to open up the script I plan on, not script, but the story I plan on reading on my iPad, so that way I don't need to use up any unnecessary memory on my computer where I'm going to be doing the recording. Okay. Whoop, sorry. Turning that down. Let's go to, where's my Chrome? Here we go. Or my Google Drive. Yes, Touch ID. Got it. Substack, Storyteller, Friday Fiction 2.0, Season 1. I have sub. Oh my god, did I write this exactly a year? No, that can't be right. That can't be right. Okay, so here we go. Let's put this script in front of me so I can see it and scroll as I need to. I have no idea how long this script is at the moment. I'm just going to read it, do a cold read straight through. Typically I want to say the title and the word count. I can't really say the length, like how long it's going to be, because I don't know till I read it, right? So let me find the word count. Hold on, let me actually get the word count, because that's kind of important. And I don't know it off the top of my head, so let's go back to the my stack stats is where I have it. So let's go to Friday Fiction 2.0 plan. So the beast is 1,568 words, 1568. 1568. I'm gonna write that in the actual thing here so that Come on, let me edit this. Okay, here we go. Let's write in here. Where are my brackets? Here we go. 1568 words. All right. Now I'm going to move to the window I need, which is this one. Okay, things are bouncing. Things look all right. Unfortunately, I still have a stuffy nose, but my voice I think is fine. At least fine enough to do this recording and hopefully have it be all right. Let me make sure everything is muted. Okay. I think this will be like officially the first time I'm recording in my office this way. I think the last time I did my podcast, I was actually in LA. So it's been a minute because I've been living here for 2 years. Let's have a drink of water. Or I'm on my second year, I should say. So I've been living here for a full year now. Year and a half, I think. Let's take a deep breath. What is this? Oh, 30-second intro, main, and then outro. Interesting. So I doubt my intro is going to be 30 seconds, but I don't know what just happened. Okay. Oh no. Hold on. I'm being asked for a password for something Creative Cloud related. Hopefully it's not. Oh, it's updating. No. Hopefully it won't mess up what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Let's try this again. One more time from the top. Welcome to Season 2 of the Friday Fiction Podcast. Now, the Friday Fiction Podcast 2.0. The Beast, 1,568 words. This meeting will come to order. Lady Blackbird spread her wings and let out a rising squee to silence the group. Is Harold here? Feathers ruffled throughout the treehouse as everyone looked around. Harold was nowhere to be found. I'm here, flying in through the window with a wing barely flapping to keep him steady, was Harold, the vulture, followed by his two cousins. Harold landed poorly and he used his beak to stop him from crashing into the far wall, digging it into the hardwood floor. What's happened? Lady Blackbird dropped down to the floor beside Harold. She could tell his left wing was badly injured, possibly broken. It's grown more powerful. We were attacked from behind. Didn't see it coming till it was too late, Harold struggled to speak. A pair of geese worked together to push a bowl filled with water over to him. He speaks the truth, Lady Blackbird. We didn't see it, but we heard it. I wanted to go after it, but my dear cousin didn't want to leave Harold's side. That was a wise decision. We must know our enemy before we attack it blindly, or we could all have been killed. It must be stopped. Are we finally in agreement? Echoes of yes and kill the beasts could be heard throughout the treehouse. Lady Blackbird seemed to Lady Blackbird returned to her perch atop a pile of Mad magazines. Seeing vultures, geese, loons, pheasants, and even herself, a blackbird, coming together brought a tear to her one good eye. The other she lost when a firecracker was intentionally let off near her and she had no means of escape. Ever since she learned how to pick locks, sneak food, and survive in the outdoors at night when her absence would not be noticed. Everyone, please, silence. We must have order if we are to work together. Harold, if you heard that thing again, would you recognize it? He nodded, unable to speak from the wincing pain he was in as the geese proceeded to dress his wounded wing. Anyone have any news since the last time we met? A large gray and white pheasant, who never spoke but always attended the meetings with her husband and 3 children, fluttered forward and landed gracefully on a wooden chair in the center of the room. My husband, she started, her voice cracked. He was shot down. I had to keep our children safe. I couldn't go to him. Even now, his body is out there untouched. I do not seek your sympathy. I only ask 2 things. Of course, said Lady Blackbird. The first is, I need help putting my husband to rest. I will not leave him as food for some other hungry beast. Lady Blackbird marveled at the strength this mother had to not shed one tear as she spoke so lovingly about her husband. Secretly, she wished to know what that kind of love must be like. And the second? Kill them. Kill them all. She turned and flew up to the open window. Her 3 children flew beside her. Together, they all flew out the window into the night sky. You two, said Lady Blackbird, addressing Harold's 2 cousins. Go after her and help her find her husband, and try not to eat him. The 2 vultures looked insulted that she would even think that, but they did as ordered and quickly flew out into the night as well. So, what are we going to do? Lady Blackbird looked around the room for the source of the question, but couldn't find it. I think first we must find this thing that attacked our brethren and destroy it. At least this way, when we attack the beasts, they will not be able to fight back. Who here is willing to do some infiltration? Pardon me, ma'am, but when you say infiltration, do you mean entering their domicile? Isn't that a bit dangerous? Colonel Jefferson, a loon, fancied himself a country bird. He claimed to be an ancestor from a long line of loons who once lived in a pond owned by President Thomas Jefferson. Why, Colonel Jefferson, are you telling me a brave man such as yourself, whose family was present during the war, is afraid of entering a house just to have a look around? Lady Blackbird loved to make fun of his phony southern accent because she knew how much it ruffled his feathers, but a real southern gentleman would never berate or mistreat a lady, no matter how ill-mannered she might be. I volunteer to take the lead if anyone would like to join me. Oh, I think it's better if it's just you and I, Colonel. Too many birds flying around could bring unwanted attention. Don't you agree? If Lady Blackbird could smirk, that is the expression she would be giving. Instead, her large black eyes shone in the moonlight, giving Colonel Jefferson a bad taste in his mouth. Then again, he did eat an oddly colored worm that morning and figured that was the cause of his ailment. Shall we proceed, then? The sun will be up soon, and so will the beasts, said the colonel, holding one wing in the direction of the window for Lady Blackbird to lead the way. The rest of you stay here. If we're not back before first light, it means we were caught, and you should save yourselves. Understood? Everyone nodded in agreement. Many looked terrified, and Lady Blackbird knew they would be waiting for first light before leaving. The cowards. A blackbird and loon flew towards a 2-story house. All of the windows were closed except for one on the first floor. It was open to crack, just enough for Lady Blackbird to squeeze through every night. It took her months, but she figured out how to work the latch and the cranking mechanism that she needed to spin a full 180 degrees in order to get the window to open. She landed on the sill and hopped in through the window. Colonel Jefferson had a harder time as his body was a bit wider than the gap in the window, but he managed to squeeze himself through and nearly fell into a sink as he did. The kitchen was filled with shiny objects everywhere, hanging from the ceiling, stuck to the walls, sitting on the counter and island. The colonel gulped as he knew his flying wasn't the most steady, and he prayed he wouldn't knock into anything that would wake up the beasts in the house. "What we are looking for is upstairs," said Lady Blackbird. She quickly flew off, and the colonel followed as close behind her as he could. He wanted to ask her how she knew what they were looking for, as she seemed unsure back at the treehouse, but there wasn't time for questions. She flew up the stairs to the second floor and in through an open door that was down a hallway. When the colonel flew inside, he found Lady Blackbird flying small circles over a desk in front of a window. On the desk was a machine unlike anything he'd ever seen before. He flew towards it and landed beside it. Lady Blackbird did the same. "What is it?" "I don't know. I just know that it can fly. The beast controls it with that." Lady Blackbird pointed her wing in the direction of a large silver bird cage, its door wide open. Dangling from the swing in the center of the cage was a large black rectangle with buttons and knobs on it. Without giving it much thought, Colonel Jefferson flew towards it, fascinated by its size and the colors. When he landed on the swing to get a closer look, he heard a click sound and the door on the cage swung closed, locking him inside. "Gotcha!" Colonel Jefferson looked for the sound of the voice. A boy stood beside the cage, dressed in all black clothes, blending into the darkness. As he stepped closer towards the cage and smiled at the loon he had just caught, he grinned menacingly, the moonlight illuminating his mouth full of braces. "Good birdie. Good birdie," the beast boy said, petting Lady Blackbird's head. She winced slightly, but only the colonel could see the fright in her eyes. "First that pheasant and now this." The boy yawned and rubbed his eyes. "I'll have to look up what kind of bird this is in the morning. I'm still sleepy." He crawled back into his bed and within minutes was snoring. "I just have one question. Why?" Lady Blackbird turned away from the colonel. Her lame eye was highlighted by the moon. "Better you than me." She flew out the bedroom and down to the first floor and out the kitchen window before he could say anything else to make her feel guilty. She took a nosedive into the ground just outside the house, covering herself in dirt to make sure she looked like she had just been through hell. This was a routine she had done a few times before, scare them into thinking the beasts were more powerful and perhaps now was not the best time to kill them. They'll agree, mourn the loss of one of their brethren, and regroup next week to devise a plan that would never work. Okay, man, it had been so long since I wrote that I completely forgot the story altogether. Okay, let's set this aside so I can see my computer screen better because I couldn't really see it. I know some things were happening. It looks like my Creative Cloud closed. Let's open that back up. Okay, so I still have absolutely no idea if I'm streaming because typically I would see a message here that says I'm streaming. I assume I am, but you never know. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, so I'm gonna just listen back to some of it. Just because I want to make sure that I, captured my voice. Obviously I did, but you can tell by the bouncing lines. And this will have to be edited. It looks like it's a length of almost 10 minutes. So let's rewind back to the beginning. I have not used this in so long.